Okay, hello everybody. My name is Ghostboy259, and I am joined by the current Super Mario 64 120-star world record holder, Mr. Simply himself.
Howdy.
And today we are comparing the world record between Liam and Simply, the 138.28 versus the 138.43 of Liam. And before we get started, I just want to give a massive shout out to Lou, who is Cheese's editor on Twitter at I'm Lou. I'll put it on the screen. Lou gave me an Excel spreadsheet to help me do a lot of the math. I didn't use the original timings because it was way too hard to be consistent, but without Lou, this video would have taken several more years. And yeah, the other thing I just want to say real quick is that the frame rates were different for the video, so I had to convert it, so there are probably tiny inconsistencies, little things, when it goes down to like 0.00 something seconds. You know, take those things with a grain of salt. They may not be the most accurate, but you're going to get the general gist of what's going on here. The timers of the bottoms will change and be inconsistent. That is because Liam almost consistently every single map did the stars in a different order. But we are following the order of Simply on the left here. So if you see Liam's thing go out of whack, then that is why.
That's right, boys. We're going to learn. We're going to take a peek, see, I know that Liam and Tago, they definitely do things faster than I do them in some areas, and so I'm actually really interested to see where am I losing time to Liam, because I know I'm losing time to Liam in some areas for sure. When you pop into the back room, so right after Mario does his yahoos and then goes into the back room, you can see exactly how Liam saves this time, and this is actually something I learned from Dowski recently. I've worked on my LBLJ, I now do this, but right there, Liam turns, and I spend a lot more time turning around in this back room. Like, we both pop back there at a pretty similar time, but he actually gets the turnaround much quicker, and it's just a matter of, like, a little flick in the back corner, so speeds up your LBLJ by quite a bit, and I did not realize I was losing so much time there. I thought Liam just had a really fast mash, but he's just got the turn. But now I got the turn, so I'm catching up. Got the speed.
So you can see you're slightly ahead of him here on red coins, but you get shocked, which ends up taking a little bit of your time away. But you do catch up on the movement.
Yep. Shigeru cycle, baby. This is also something I've been working on, and I've been going for Tsukushima now. 3 seconds faster, really hard to do. I still get Shigeru most of the time.
Which is the name of the person who discovered the cycle, correct?
Yep.
And so you guys grab this star very, very close together. So as I said, and when it comes down to this small of a number, this is when you can kind of take it with a grain of salt because there was some frame rate conversion and stuff like that. But for the most part, you guys are pretty on sync here.
She was a fuckhead, dude. I can't do it with someone who listens to country anyway. No love lost. No hard feelings. You know, it was mutual. She didn't like how I would have my cereal just sit there and let it get soggy because I like soggy cereal. She'd just get on my case about it.
On the overall segment, you you were 1.4 seconds slower than him, and the split difference is just a general difference of what the splits are looking like right now. I didn't go into point something or anything like that.
Sure.
And this is just like a general, just to show you that there are, of course, smaller little things that we're not necessarily looking at that do end up making a difference, but this is roughly 2 seconds. I'm sure if I went down and looked at the points, then it would probably be closer to 1.5. And next we're going to enter Whomp's Fortress here. So we have a little bit of castle movement. Can you explain why we go into Dark World here instead of just exiting the door? Because I didn't know this.
So normally you'd have 8 stars when you get into Dark World. That's how you open the door. But since we have just one, we can't actually leave. So we have to go back into the level and exit out, which is actually not that slow at all. I think they're very similar in speed.
Yeah, I had no idea that you couldn't open the door from the other side. Alright, so this is one of our first examples of a text box being put in the way. So when you guys did Canless, you guys did it in a different order. And the first time you enter the stage, you get a text box. So this is with the text box difference. This will be the one that you see. This is the timing you'll see, because this is technically the official time you got on the star. But of course, when it's like this, it's a little hard to compare directly what you guys were doing. So I did another one where I edited out the text box so you can actually see a direct comparison how you would do if there was no text box.
Okay. Fancy. There's always going to be some variability in texture setup. You can have you can save almost a full second on texture setup sometimes, but as long as you get it, that is all that matters at the end of the day.
And so here we have 100 plus red. And Liam with a small error there. Considering how dangerous that could have been, he actually does make up quite a bit of time with his movement. So I feel like that probably could have been more than a few seconds, but it ends up being just under 1.
Yeah, that could have been pretty close to a reset, but thankfully he didn't reset there.
I don't know why. It's literally just
My arms were straight up.
you go right instead of left, but it was way too hard.
All right, another text box set up here. So this is the one with the text box.
Mr. Clean.
Minus 6 seconds without the text box. You guys will see that you are much, much closer together.
Yeah, there's one thing on Owlus I don't do, which Liam does, is that quick turn, and that quick turn can make a big difference. I do like a slow turn. It's right when we land on the platform. And I used to do quick turn, but if you do quick turn, then there's a high chance you go into it with a lot of speed, and then a firsty setup won't work, and that's how I do Owlus to make it more consistent.
Next up, we've got Into the Wild Blue. This is probably one of the most consistent stars, I imagine, from both of you guys, just because it's a pretty fast star.
She's pretty fast. Wild Blue is a star that I worked on recently. It's actually super easy to lose a lot of time on Wild Blue.
And then our last, or two, we got Whomp King first.
Just gotta keep grinding.
Wait, is there like only one universal?
When did I get my PB? My 138? That was like a week ago or something. Maybe a little bit longer. 102 up is like when you go upstairs. It's the upstairs split. It's like the most common way, or one. It's like one big indicator of how good a run is. Like everybody knows.
Wait, so timing stops upon star touch or X cam?
Yes.
Okay.
Upon touching the star, as soon as the star counter in the top right frame changes the number, that's when I stop time.
Oh.
So I had to come up with my own system here.
It's not a big deal, but X cam is like that would have been a consistent way because like that thing at the end it says plus 0.2, but we were definitely like tied because he had a different X cam.
Oh, okay. I can redo all of this.
We don't have to redo it all. I'm just gonna shit on you.
This is our Whomp's Fortress time here. We have you see the major differences here being Owlus and Canonless, but of course these have text boxes in them, so it's not true to how it actually is.
Yeah, this looks about right. I'm not surprised about his. Well, okay, these are the times including the text boxes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it seemed like the thing he had the most over me was Owlus, which I know about that. That's with the quick turn, and probably at some point I'll implement that. But yeah, I had a pretty good beginning. A 704 Whomps is pretty decent considering my Dark World time. So yeah, I'm surprised that was only 2.2. I must have made a mistake or something.
One thing that Lou mentioned in the cheese video via text, which I will point out here, is that Liam's menuing is a little bit different.
Yeah, so when you go into a stage and you're holding either left or right, basically the way this game works with menuing speed is it stores it. And so going into the stage, if you're holding something, you can make it so that when you pop out of the stage, you've already stored your menuing speed, and then you just hold down and you immediately scroll to the bottom. But the thing about it is that you can't actually press A on that ending menu until it's either 8 frames have passed or 10 frames. But because of that buffer, that's why I don't do that glitch, because I can get down to that bottom menu in time on my own, and that's what I'm used to. And so it's whatever your preference is. I think for newer age players, it's probably easier to learn that way. But if I were to do that, I'd have to relearn a lot of my star menuing, because obviously some stars, it matters which star you pick when you go into the stage. So the movement into Aquarium, what I do there is actually, in theory, faster, but as you can see, me and him entered at the same time. I think it just looks cooler. It's what I'm used to. Liam actually used to do that triple jump dive, but he dropped it. Yeah, Aquarium is a big boy. I've always lost a lot of time here. I'm actually really not that good at Aquarium. Most of my Aquariums are pretty weak. I think Cheese might have the best Aquariums. He gets 106s all the time, which is like the segment timer here. Liam's definitely going to save some time here. Part of it is just not focusing, and I definitely should pay attention no matter what level I'm in, but I think a lot of times I kind of get bored in Aquarium and I don't focus as much. But damn, Liam saved a whole, wow, almost a second. Yeah, that seems about right. Aquarium will vary quite a bit. Like, it can look exactly the same from Aquarium to Aquarium, and you can lose about a second.
Jolly Roger Bay. So you guys start off with the sunken ship, of course.
Again, this is the thing about JRB is it's pretty hard to get a gold split here or get a really perfect run through, because a lot of it is up to this ship clip. Basically, wherever you hit the corner is going to have a large difference on when you clip through. Like, me and Liam had variable clips there, and both of us could have been a lot faster. There's the infamous instant clip, which will happen every once in a while, and that saves so much time. But looks like we do chests pretty much the exact same way. I think his were slightly cleaner.
This is my thing. Look at it. Look at that stick. Oh, God. It's so firm.
And so this is 100s plus red. So what I did here is I timed at 2 different points, maybe 3, but pretty sure for 2. Because you will see as we get into the little cove, Liam actually misses a blue coin. And so that cost him a little bit of time. And so I wanted to map out just how much he lost there.
Yeah, the big deal with 100 coin is the ship. Obviously, the ship cycle is very important. So assuming that you make no mistakes at all, you'll be in the perfect cycle to be able to side flip right onto the ship, and it saves a lot of time. If you mess up a little bit, sometimes you need to do a side flip dive, or you need to do a long jump wall kick to get up onto the ship. But the ship is always turning. And back in the day, we used to think that the ship wasn't moving while you're in the cave, so you could mess up in the cave in theory, but that actually does affect it. So you have to have pretty much flawless movement for the entire star for it to work out smoothly. Otherwise, you lose like even if you make a 1 second mistake, it's really like maybe a 2 to 3 second mistake because of the different movement you have to do. The boat cycle.
Yep, so we were at minus 3.4 seconds here because Liam missed the blue coin. He just dived over it by accident. And so minus 3.4 is what we're at now, and we'll see later on if that grows or if that decreases.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be doing a different cycle, so I would assume that it's going to decrease, unless I messed up here. I had a good JRB in my PB, though. But we'll see. Is it true, or am I talking out of my wazoo?
So you do a side flip on, avoiding the invisible wall.
That's best case scenario right there.
Nice, man.
So he had to wait for that side flip a bit. That was actually pretty good movement from Liam. I don't usually do that. I get kind of scared with the ship, but he read the ship cycle really good there. That was nice.
So grabbing the star with 1:18 seconds, so just under 2 minutes, and Liam following up behind, ends up almost losing 6 seconds on this.
Yeah. Yeah, so there it is. Like, he lost 3, what was it, like 3 something in the cave, and then it ended up being minus 5.8.
It was 3.4 in the cave, yeah. Next up is the cannon. So the cannon, Liam actually is not going for... Oh, sorry, no. In a different star... Liam will also be using the cannon because he actually did he had to go for the chest one in the cave because he went for cannon and missed.
The backup.
Yeah, and it's actually quite interesting. It loses him almost no time in that regard.
Yeah. People ask a lot, like, oh, if I use the cannon by accident, like how much time am I losing? But as long as you undershoot, like you go under the platform as opposed to overshooting, you're not going to lose time. Not on the eel star, not on the chest star. Only if you go for this star right here as a backup from the cannon do you lose time.
And you can see here Liam is in Mario cam for this star. I don't know if that makes a huge difference or if that's a preference thing or...
No, I think that's just preference. I'm pretty sure I don't get any lag there.
So this next one will be the chest star. So Liam will enter the cannon initially and undershoot. He also starts, I don't know, you can control camera manipulation, right? So he's intentionally starting with cameras on opposite ends?
Yeah, basically you need to mash C right or C left at the beginning. And Liam actually does a different movement into the cannon that saves like a frame or two where he does a triple jump dive. I've seen him mess it up a lot, but if you can get that down, then that's like a pretty juicy time save that, I mean, it doesn't seem too difficult. I've never messed around with it. But that's the kind of like micro optimizations that Liam does that I've done on some stars, but I haven't gotten around to every star.
And so a very close one there. Doesn't actually lose him any significant time from using the cannon. And the last we have the eel.
Eels. Yeah, I think the beginning of JRB actually can probably be optimized a bit. I was talking with Drogi and Tabascoth, who are two super, super big helps with optimizing my gameplay. They helped make a spreadsheet on things I can improve on. I think they made one for Punkay too, like little time saves, little lag reductions, and the way that you do those long jumps at the beginning of JRB, you can lose frames really easily. So that'll be something that we pay more attention to in the future. At the moment, I think all runners do it pretty willy-nilly. At least I do. I don't pay too much attention.
And so with JRB done, we will take a look at the final numbers here. Only in 2 stars were you actually slower than him. Not by a lot overall in the segment. 5.7 seconds ahead of Liam's time. The splits read roughly 6 seconds here.
Yeah, 100 coins are definitely the biggest part of JRB. Like once you have the 100 coins and the ship star, everything else is pretty automatic. That is it. The proof is in the pudding.
Pretty fucking fast. Maybe I've had 14, 15, I'm not sure.
All right, so next up we are heading to the secret slide, and then wing cap, and then back to the slide.
That is indeed the route.
Ba-ba-bum, ba-bum-bum. Whole lot of green. Dude, I couldn't do slides.
Once again, this is one that ends with a difference of 0.033 seconds. So you can take these times with a little bit of a grain of salt. It's basically just 1 frame difference.
Just a little bit of a grain of salt here. Yeah, slide is another one. This kind of reminds me of Aquarium, where I'm not always the most focused here, and that can cost you a lot of time. Like I got a 12.9, but if I'm focusing and paying attention, and I whip out 2 12.6s versus 2 12.9s, that's like half a second, and that can be really big. Wing cap is another one that it's easy to like not pay attention, but flying is it's so easy to lose time while flying. Wow, me and Liam fly pretty much the exact same way. Wow, that's crazy.
I think I've only seen that once though. Like,
Huh. I wonder how did he save that? What happened there? It looked like he saved time. Yeah, I think I swing left a little bit more. It looks like he goes a little bit lower. But yeah, like that seems like such a small difference, but that made a 0.4 difference. It's pretty crazy.
Okay, I get that.
Kappa?
Do
I
I
get Kappa by Dollar
dwell
Shave
on
Club?
reaction or memory? Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I can't understand.
And this one you're just slightly ahead.
Oh yeah, we switched places. I think I got a 12.9 in the first one. He got 12.8. Yeah, the way that I grab that box is actually really safe. I do a rollout and then stop under it, and then jump. I think D whatever does like a continuous motion where he rolls out and jumps immediately. Like he doesn't do any neutral or any stopping, which might save some time.
Run. Cap, this is
The only
garbage.
time you should really react is like
But thank
reacting to the
My pleasure, Rare.
maybe make a mistake.
Bob is these first 2 stars kind of feel like they drone on. Koopa race more so than anything. You can actually save a lot of time on this first star depending on if you get the good rollout here. I think we both got it. It's basically like where you barely clip on the lip and get a good rollout. But Liam might actually do the lag reduction that I don't do here. This is a pretty laggy fight. Like every time you throw him and he lands like that, there's a lot of lag. And there's actually a way you can reduce that. I think Tago's been experimenting with it, but it's a really annoying camera to use. But you can see Liam throwing the Bomb King more towards the top. And so when he does that, he's actually reducing quite a bit of lag. But it seems like we're still even. That could be due just to the way we threw him. Like if I threw him faster, but he still saved time. So that might be something worth looking into.
I think he just ended up closer to the star as well on that one.
Yeah. So he's going upwards.
Koopa the Quick. One of the longest stars in this one, besides 100 in Reds, of course. And so once you reach the top of this one, it doesn't really matter what you do in between as long as you're at the top before he gets there, I'm assuming?
That is it, but there's like one caveat in the code. I forget exactly what it is. It's like, basically, if you finish the race and then you get next to the Koopa, he'll still slow down. So the reason that we go down here as opposed to what we used to do, whereas we would get like right next to him, is I think it saves like a frame or half a frame to not get anywhere near him so he doesn't slow down. I don't know why they have that. It's like some weird Boolean logic where it seems like they didn't want that to happen unless you haven't finished the race, but because of the way it's like the logic is done in the code, because they recently decompiled it. BDEF100 can tell you all about it. He analyzed that code. He explained it to me one time. I understood at one point, but that's the gist. So when we do it this way, we pretty much never get next to the Koopa. Liam got 18.1. I got 18.8. I'm actually curious to see how big of a time difference that is. I've always thought that as long as you get like an 18, you're good.
Yeah, you actually end up talking to the Koopa very, very closely around the same time. In the end, he does get it about 0.6 seconds ahead of you there.
I didn't get the ground pound either. Wow. I'm curious to see what the time difference would have been there if you included the fact that I kick. Because I kick into that star, but Liam does a ground pound. Maybe I should probably start ground pounding there. That might have been a single jump. I don't know. I floated in the air for a while there. That was pretty bad. I'll start ground pounding there.
Already improving the gameplay for the next world record.
Yes.
Bomb clip. This is one of the more famous moves of this run. And it used to be first, but there's a lag reduction thing now apparently with the cannon.
Yeah, so now that we do this star third, it's just the way that you load in the stage. Like, I think it's the cannon, and it's like half a frame of lag or something if you do bomb clip as the third star as opposed to the first. But this is a star that I grinded out recently, so it's good to see that it's up to snuff. Because I was definitely losing a little bit of time on bomb clip, which is crazy. It's like one of the first things you learn, and sometimes you just learn things in a bad way. You know, I've been playing since 2012, so I've had to keep relearning stars and learning new strats and whatnot. So I missed a coin back there. It's not a huge deal. Like, you can get away with missing one coin as long as your flying's really good. But Bob-100 can be it's a very RNG based star. But if you have very good flying and you get a lot of coins in the air, like this part is really important. I got almost all the coins I needed. I could have gotten one more.
Yeah, Liam's a couple ahead of you, and now he's one behind you, so...
Yeah.
He does mess up somewhere close to here, I believe.
Ooh, and you see that turnaround. Like, after the turnaround at the top of the sky there, I was able to save a lot of time just by turning a little bit earlier, and that's a very minor thing, but clearly it saved like half a second or something. And sometimes I get a turnaround like what Liam got. It's just it's hard to get that every time and get the coins, but We both got the setup. I think he had 60. Wait, I think he has to do 4 polls. And
You're only a couple seconds, maybe like a second ahead of him. But Liam proceeds to have some of the worst coin RNG I've ever seen.
Yeah, having to run around and chase coins is definitely some hot garbage.
Ridiculous, man.
Oh wow, yeah, I had some really nice polls. It's actually it doesn't like I don't even know if Punkay knows how to do this properly yet. Again, shout outs to Drogi because he pointed me in the right direction, but there is a method to the madness on these polls. Depending on basically like when you approach them, wherever you start running around them is like, okay, this is the starting point. And then once you make the 2 laps or the 3 laps, on that point, it'll explode. So what you do is you kind of go wide as you're about to spawn the coins so that you can sort of react. So you see like on the final turn. So like you want to do it in a way so that you can like jump forward. I had to do that because of the coin from the Goomba. But you can see on this last poll, like I want to be able to move back towards that red coin. So I start it over to the right. I go wide, and then I'm able to react better to the RNG. That can make a really big difference. Like my polls got a lot more quick when I started doing them that way. So shout out to Drogi.
And as you can see here, the final result ended up being a 9-second time loss, which, you know, puts Liam down pretty significantly, exiting this split here.
Yeah, Bob 100 is a big one. I had a very strong beginning in my PB, and it's actually been pretty tough running against it. I don't even know if since the world record I've had a run that's on pace or ahead after Bob. Like obviously after Bob, like going on the Bob split, I haven't beaten it. I got like a 23:02. I've gotten a lot of 23:0 somethings, but 23:02 is pretty fast. And I think Liam got a 23:18, if I recall correctly. So his beginning was pretty weak, but he definitely picks it up in other parts of the run where I dropped the ball.
And the final star for this level being the secrets.
Yeah, it looks like we... Wait, how did I save time there? Did we not shoot at the same time? I think it was just the lining up. I was able to get a really quick lineup. That's the nice thing. Cheese has spoken about how he has a problem with cannons with his Hori controller. And I can definitely attest that the Hori controller is very sensitive. So it's hard to shoot the cannon, but...
So this is our final splits here, our final segments rather, sorry, from Bob-omb Battlefield. Of course, the major difference being that 100 and reds here. You guys were, I mean, within a second for everything else, but overall, the splits read about a 15-second difference here.
Yep. Seems about right.
Still green after Bob. Must be the run. Must be the fucking run. Thank you, Mini Fox.
It's all good though.
Alright, right. We're not getting attached. Fuck her, bro. I don't want her. I don't want her. I don't care. She could die right now and I wouldn't even care.
Liam has a good... Wait, does Liam have a camera there? What did he do? He got a really good long jump angle there. Wait a second. What is he doing there? I think... Is he does like a C left or something. That angle is really good. I have to like... I just kind of find it on my stick. Sometimes I have a bad angle, but he's literally just using an angle. That's like straight up. I've definitely taken camera stuff from Liam before. I took a camera thing from him that he does in Whomps 100 that's super good. He definitely knows his stuff. Liam, he's the new, like he is the freshest out of the top 5, and he's definitely found ways to make things more consistent.
That's right. I said it. Thank you, Endo, for the gifted sub for 5 months in a row. I'm fatty.
So here we are, Shifting Sandland. This is where a lot of dreams go to get crushed. This is probably, if you looked at a heat map of resets, I'm sure that this is probably the most reset level, other than, you know, Whomps or Dark World or whatever. So many resets here. We both do Atama Plus. I think I had to do a couple jumps on the pyramid, but that seems about right. Once you get Pillarless out of the way, it's like, it's chill. That's when it feels good. That's when there's still scary stuff to do, like Reds 100. I mean, the stage is stacked. It's very easily the hardest or most challenging stage to perform really well, I would say.
hitting the bird there. This one is literally 1 frame of a difference here, so once again, salt, take a grain of it.
1 frame trick.
And this next one is also within a 1 frame difference, which is impressive because it takes significantly longer. It is the IROC star.
The biggest part of what makes the star fast or slow is getting into the pyramid. Like, that triple jump dive and sliding into the pyramid is going to be the biggest decider. I definitely know that I take some time to get that ledge grab too, the topless, but it makes it consistent. Sometimes you got to sacrifice a little bit of speed for consistency, but as 120 star gets pushed further, there will be less and less of that. More risky stuff. The thing about IROC is you want to get a frame perfect hit, and if you notice, when we kick, it actually hits multiple times. It turns into like a very active hitbox when he does his kick, and so as long as you kick within a reasonable window, you get like 5 hits or something in a row. It just like kicks the shit out of the hand, so you just want to time the kick just so that you get it right as he becomes vulnerable, and then you can get a perfect fight. Man, he's saving frames on me. I'm getting destroyed.
This is the 8 reds.
The hardest star in in the world. Not really. I did make a clickbait video about it, though. But yeah, the star is pretty hard to do really well. Liam is actually a player who I learned a lot about this star from. I used to be really, really bad at the star. I would consistently lose seconds, and I was wondering why. And I worked on it, grinded it a bit. Liam came in my chat when I was practicing it one day, and he offered me some pointers. And it's gotten a lot cleaner. But we both messed up the thing at the end.
All right, I'll take it.
As long as you make it through without losing, like I'm fine with losing 4 or 5 seconds on the star, as long as it's not a death and not like 15 seconds. It's all good.
And it's even subtle things like you just punched a little bit early when you went after the box. That it doesn't look like it saves a lot, but that's a difference of, you know, a couple frames.
Yeah. Definitely not the cleanest reds ever, but that will do. My run is basic, like super hot up until SSL is finished. Like at the end of this stage, it's pretty much one of the fastest runs ever. I know Liam's gotten like a 29:19. He may have gotten a run faster than that, but I end up getting a 29:20, and that's one of my best, if not my best SSL split times ever. But right after reds, you got the banger 100. This is the only RNG that really matters is like those first beginning yellow coins, which I think we both had a good deal. Usually, as long as you can react, it's not too bad. And then the next RNG that's a big deal is the pokey that we go and kill after this box. Wow, we were pretty much neck and neck. So the pokey went right for me, which is nice. Liam got attacked by the bird. Sometimes you can get really fucked over by the bird on the slope. Like if the blue coin goes up on the slope and you go for it and you get hit by the bird before getting the blue coin, I mean, you're looking at losing like 3-4 seconds. It's brutal.
So your into the pyramid time was 0.8 seconds faster than him. So now we're hitting the secrets, and I think Liam has a small little mess up here as well that costs him some time.
You can see my chat in the bottom left cleaning. Definitely an appropriate response. This is quite a clean SSL. I actually messed up there, and it looks like Liam messed up there too, but he went for a different backup. I just went balls deep and went for the jump dive anyway. I'm shocked I got all 5 of those coins. Like that was super cool to me that I got those because I didn't have the normal speed. But what Liam did there is what we used to do for those 5 coins, where you just do like small jumps. Those 5 coins actually got super optimized over the years. Like way back in the day, we used to just do like butt slides and jump across the slope. Like it's probably 2 seconds faster now, just those 5 coins than years ago.
All right. All right.
And so minus 0.8 seconds ahead of Liam, and then with that little mess up there, grabbing those coins ends up being 2.7, and then we finish it off with a nice easy one, top of pyramid.
Yeah, and this is another one of those stars where you can lose so much time depending on how your slide is, but like I lost a little bit to him there, 0.4. It's like you don't even realize that you're losing that time, but a good slope versus a bad slope is almost a second lost. So you got to be very careful.
And so here we have our final stats here for Shifting Sandland. Once again, he actually ended up beating you on most of the stars, but the mistakes that he made were big enough that you still came out of the segment with almost minus 3 seconds ahead of his time. And your splits at this point, like you said, you had a really good time here with SSL. You're minus 18 on his current splits right now.
Yeah, and since I've been doing runs, I'm almost always in the red, and I don't know how aware people are of how good the beginning is, but it's very hard to keep up with my beginning through SSL. But this is the beginning of the end for me because HMC 100 and HMC go pretty. There's some big mistakes that I make that end up adding some leeway.
29-20. It's green.
So we're going to start off with, of course, 100s plus reds, the star that is so gigantic it just gets its own split.
Yeah, people ask a lot why some 100 coins have their own split. Way back in the day, the only 100 coin that had its own split was DDD 100. And it's mostly just due to the fact that it's such a long star, and since you do it first, it'll always be first, and it's nice to just have a split. And eventually HMC 100 was added, and now people even have Rainbow Ride 100 splits. But yeah, I messed up here.
So can you explain why the jump didn't work?
So when you do the butt slide off of that little slope, I went over the other edge. Like you want to be on the right edge, but I accidentally went over the left edge, and so my angle was messed up. And I knew that if I went for the double jump, I would have just not hit it. So I took the time to go for this backup. My backup there is really bad. Like I actually can't. Liam's really good at that backup. He can do it really quickly, but I had to stop up on top. So not a very good backup.
So almost 9 seconds just from that difference alone from the time that you guys opened the door. And we will see a second timer here when we go back through another door. But just for record, just for people who may not understand how much time something like that can lose, almost 9 seconds.
Yeah. It's very, very easy to lose a lot of time here. Liam's mash is insane. So he gets a 1 BLJ there. This is a place you can lose a lot of time in HMC 100, depending on how many air BLJs you have to do. If you get a really good BLJ, like 1, we both got 1, so we're tied up there. That's pretty good. Sometimes you can get the instant. If you're ever doing more than 1 jump, it's like, ideally, you just want to do 1 air BLJ at most.
And so as we went through the second door, we clocked them there, and you can see it's actually a greater difference now, 9.8. Losing another full second about on top of that. But you have some lovely blue corn RNG, which ends up blue coin RNG, which actually ends up helping you out a little bit here.
Oh, he got some pretty good RNG too. Yeah, I think I actually got really. Yeah, that's like super insane. That's best case scenario RNG right there. And the chat starts talking.
And then Liam. And as you can see, Liam there. So Liam misses the star twice. Now, this is obviously Liam still got the world record with this run. I will say it is incredible how many times he loses time just because he misses a star once or twice.
Yeah, I think Liam wanted to reset when that happened, actually. I think, I don't know if I was watching this run live, but the funny thing about this run from Liam, like, yes, it was a world record, but it was sort of like my record where at this point, I was like, this run's insane, but I make big mistakes later on, but Liam made his bigger mistakes earlier on, and I wonder how close he was to resetting. So there I missed the wall clip. That's a big deal. That is so much time. It's like 6 seconds lost, and it's just a very, very small difference in like when you long jump. You got to long jump right on the edge to get that clip and be in the right spot. So that is an unfortunate time loss for sure.
And luckily there is, it's not too hard of a backup to do, but it is a time loss nonetheless. And as you can see, it does equal just over 6 seconds of time loss there.
Yeah, it is not fun to miss that clip. Once you do that, you're like, all right, goodbye. It's a lot of time loss.
Thanks. Okay, stop now. We're past the elevator. You're living in the past. Thank you, Gerg, for the resub for 13 months, man. Beautiful man. I am Nipple Man, showing my nipples in a van.
Pretty standard swimming beast there. No beasts being awoken here. Metal cap reds. I think Liam makes a small mistake here.
Oh, yeah, the ledge grab. Yeah, the ledge grab is not fun at all. It kind of throws everything else out of whack because we get used to doing it with all the speed, so you have to adjust. Get the ledge grab, and you can see that messed up Liam a little bit.
And so we clocked when going into metal caps 3.683 seconds. But Liam's metal cap time actually, like the stage spent in this level, actually ends up being about a full second better than yours.
I might have to investigate metal cap because I have a very safe metal cap star. Like, this is one of those stars that I haven't optimized a lot of. I kind of forget that it is a thing.
So this is just the metal cap section, so you can actually see what the difference was. And I believe it's the difference of a little bit of a long jump here.
Yeah, he does a long jump and he does a kick. And so I rub the wall there and I lose a lot of momentum. So that's part of it, but that I do a big jump there and he does a kick. You can see that I start blinking. Like, ideally if you do a good metal cap, you shouldn't blink at all. I'm curious how much time I would actually lose if I had like a perfect run of my.
Next star is Metal Mario Can Move, in which, of course, we do not actually, you don't get the metal cap, so Metal Mario does not do any moving here, but pretty standard, just trying to jump off and hit the switch in the water.
The most useless cap. Metal cap. You do not need it for a single star. It's so bad, we don't even grab it.
Our world champion, very awake and invested in this comparison video right now.
I'm enjoying it. It's pretty interesting. There's already been some things that I've learned. It's just fun to. I've always meant to watch like a full run of Liam or Tago. I just never have had like the discipline or whatever to sit down and watch it. So now it's nice to actually get a full, not only watching them but getting like a comparison to see, okay, is it faster? Like, are they better in this part?
Thank you, Clamus, for the resub of 2 months in a row, Bob. It is my pleasure, man. Thank you for the sub.
And then the last one, the Watching for Falling Rocks, probably one of the... Well, yeah, it's the last one. It's the easiest one in HMC here. Mainly just comes down to movement.
Yeah, this is another star that I've kind of left untouched. I got a bad boulder there, so I had to go right, so that does lose a little bit of time.
So the boulders are RNG, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that is HMC, which, it could have been worse for you. It definitely could have been a lot worse if Liam didn't miss the ground pounds, and if he didn't miss the first initial jump there on the red metal caps one.
Yeah, this is still a really good run for both of us. Like, if I was on the pace that Liam is on right now, like I will continue that run for a world record attempt. We're both on good runs at this point, like good enough pace to get a low 138.
We're going to grab Toad here and then enter Lethal Lava Land, so a little bit of castle movement here. Liam just casually walking over to the Toad, but still gets it at the same time as you.
Good Toad talk. Clean Toad, as they say.
The most optimized star in Super Mario 64. And he just hops in there a little bit before you.
0.4. Wait, where did all that time save come from?
I'm not really... I think it's just the angle. Like, as soon as he jumps down, he's got that angle. He jumps right away, and...
Yeah, he definitely gets in the door a little bit earlier. I don't know if that's 0.4. I wonder if that's always his intentional movement. I don't actually know what the fastest castle movement is there. I long jump into it. He does like a long jump clip, then a jump dive.
All right, we have another text box situation because once again the stars were done out of order. So this is with the text box. This is the big bully star. So obviously you will be behind on this one.
This is a star that I updated recently where you do that ground pound on the right. I was doing the side flip for a long time, and it's just kind of outdated. You can save like, I think you save like 0.5 with a really, really good run of the ground pound strat.
And then this is without the text box. You can actually see a real comparison of you guys head to head here.
That's a pretty seamless edit you do. That's cool.
It's
I was like, wait, how is that the
you
same
basically
thing?
have to go down to the frame where you guys start moving. And as you can see, very, very close. You do have a frame on him on that one there. But of course, because of the text box, you actually lose half a second. Next up, 3 bullies.
This is another star that neither I or Liam have optimized. I think Paracusia does it, but you can skip the ledge grab and then just go for a big long jump. But if you do that, the bullies are in a different position. So it's like, it's 2 new things to learn, but it saves like at least half a second.
A charity stream? Absolutely not. Fuck charity. No.
Next up, we're going to head to the 8 reds. This is once again a text box one, so we will look at it with the text box.
Yeah, reds, this is probably one of the stars that's changed the least over the years. I think this strat has been around since I started speedrunning. Like, it has not... You could only get those reds in so many ways. There's only so many options.
Yeah, and as you can see here, you were minus 0.2 seconds with the text box, so you can probably guess that without the text box. I think he does it faster than you.
Yeah, I had a bad jump dive angle there.
Just a little bit faster on those turns, too.
Yeah, that actually is pretty... This is one of those stars that you could definitely autopilot on pretty easily. It's like easy to take it for granted. So might need to pay a little bit more attention on my reds. Get some tighter turns because he's got some hot turns. I do a super late dive there at the end. These little things, they add up. Like 0.3. 0.3 over like, I don't know, do that like 10 times. 3 seconds. Adds up quick.
And next up, we're doing the logless. Now, the one thing interesting here is that you guys, once again, just a preference thing really, but you guys start on completely opposite camera angles here. He prefers to face the box.
Oh, this actually isn't preference. This is...
Oh, is it not?
Yeah, this is the strat. So the reason I do that angle is I actually do a big triple jump dive, and this strat ends up saving, I don't know, it's like half a second or something. Something like that. It might even be a little more. Like if you do a perfect run of my strat that I'm doing versus what Liam is doing, it's almost like a second saved. This strat can save a lot of time. It's hard to do it really optimally, but on average, it's as fast as doing what he did perfectly. So it's definitely worth learning. It's really fun to do. The only hard thing is getting the camera at the beginning. The camera's a little finicky.
And just a little slip up from Liam grabbing the star there as we do 100 in Volcano, which is harder than it looks.
I'm very proud. Thank you, Taihu.
Yeah, so when you get these first reds on the puzzle, there can be a bunch of extra lag there, and it's actually RNG. Depending on, I'm pretty sure it's the eyeball that causes the RNG, but there's 2 spots, or the eyeball that causes the lag. There's 2 spots that have big RNG. Big like lag. So right here, these bullies with these 8 coins can be extremely laggy if you get bad RNG. So it's actually up to luck sometimes. if you're going to save more time on the first half. But the volcano is 100% consistent. I think me and Liam do pretty similar strats. He does not roll out over that coin on the flame. I think it's pretty comfy. Sometimes I mess it up, but it definitely saves time. And right here, I think we both do the side flip dive. I think Punke does the double jump, though, which is actually a slight time save that might be worth learning.
And so you can see you did actually lose 0.1 second on inside the volcano time itself. But otherwise, very consistent. And then we have Volcano Tour, and I think Liam makes a slip up here as well.
Cliff bars are bad and kind of poopy, not gonna lie.
And this is what we have to end off Lethal Lava Land. You saved minus 4.2 seconds on there. Your split difference reads roughly 14 seconds. But for the most part, you know, the movement, you were a little behind. Big Bully, a little behind. Everything else, you were consistently better.
Aw, yeah. Yeah, he had a bunch of little slip-ups. It seems like the only thing that we actually do different is the cage star. Logless, as they say. It's set in stone now. Yep. It's that's a big one.
We're gonna move on to the Vanish cap now, which is everyone's favorite star, surely.
It's a pretty fun one. Definitely lost a lot of runs to Vanish cap. I actually got a really good MIPS grab there. You can see I grabbed it a bit earlier. I don't always get that grab. It feels like luck. Like you need a very, very good turn, very good positioning to make that happen. But definitely saves a little bit of time if you get it. So everything's pretty much the same. I think we both do the side flip here on the pillar. People have asked about the side flip. Basically, it's a consistent way. I missed the ground pound there. Consistent way to grab the door at a good time. I actually optimized this outdoor movement recently as well. Like the camera is perfect. Camera's huge in this game, and it makes some things way easier. But yeah, that time save I think is just from the failed ground pound that I had. We both make the good cycle here. I actually do slightly faster movement there, where you do the side flip, and that saves about a second. And I think Liam's going for the side flip. I've recently decided to drop that side flip, and so we have pretty much the same Vanish cap, if you account for that difference in the movement. That side flip double jump, it's like you're never going to get it 100% consistent. I feel like it's very precise. It's frame perfect if you don't have a good double jump. You need to get a firstie on the wall kick. If you get a good wall kick, then you can get away with like a second or third frame. But I got tired of losing like 6 seconds to messing it up, so I just go for the traditional triple jump.
And we are on our way to Cool Mountain. We'll start off with the wall kicks, and there's once again, I think text boxes here if I'm not mistaken, but I think just for the first star. Maybe you guys do it at the same time? Yes, you do. Thank you. So wall kicks.
Oh, Liam takes a while on that backflip. So I actually lost a lot of time in CCM. This is like, up until this point, this is one of my best runs I think I've ever had. Even despite like the mistakes in HFC 100 and HMC. Or 0.7 times. I think that's just due to like how long he took to backflip.
Next up we have 8 reds. And you guys went for different strategies to grab that first red coin there.
Yeah, that's a strat that I used to do. I didn't think it was consistent, but now I've been seeing that Liam does it, Tago goes for it. I actually catch the breeze there, so it ruins my double jump. So the reds are not very clean.
Waking the tree.
Yeah, it was not good. Definitely very weird of me to do that. Unfortunate. Gotta do what you gotta do, though. The record waits for no man.
And then the jump off the bridge. He went for the long jump. You went for the dive. Just a preference?
Yeah, the jump dive it's actually faster to do the jump dive because the rollout will get eaten on the slope, and then you could do an immediate jump dive. It's not as lenient. Like if you go for the long jump, it's much safer, but it's a very small time save.
Here we've got the slide star without the penguin.
So I'm literally just vibing right now.
Going for that moonwalk.
Which you hit and he does not, which pretty much costs him the only time loss you can have in this star, I think.
But if it's her time to go, or if I'm like, you know what, it's time for us to end this, then that's all good.
Little penguin. This one is kind of interesting because most of your time loss here comes from you not being able to grab the penguin, which does happen.
Yeah, I was having multiple problems with the star. Lately, it hasn't been as much of an issue. I think I've got it sorted out. It's so annoying, though, to lose time to grabbing that penguin.
Otherwise, movement pretty standard on this one. It's just that penguin time save.
Yeah, that hurts.
And then next up, we have the longest star of this segment. We have the 100 coins and the big penguin here. So how many coins do you need to have for sure before going in?
I think it's 34. Me and Liam both do the updated strat here where you get the blue coins and then you could do the turnaround on the slide. Saves about a second, and actually shoutouts to Usamune made a video explaining how you can manipulate the penguin movement to save even more time. It's really hard to do. I don't get it very often, but depending on how you move when you go for the jump, the coins that are in the air, how you move leading up to that, like right here, will determine whether or not you manipulate the penguin to go faster. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, a nice little turnaround. 100 is it's pretty cozy at this point. That turnaround might look scary. I know a lot of people are always like, oh, that scares me every time, but it's actually fairly straightforward. And here I turn around. I think this is easier to do. You hit the wall and then you turn around. Then you can do a jump, and if you hold neutral, you immediately stop, and you can do a very quick long jump. And I guess it's really up to preference, but the only way you lose time is if you talk to the penguin late, and me and Liam both have a good talk. So
Is that slide route new?
And then last, the snowman's head,
Dropped a video about it, like,
which is a pretty standard, just sliding down. Once you hit, is this like the Koopa where kind of once you've hit a certain spot, there's nothing more you can do? You just kind of have to wait it out, and it's always going to be like a certain amount of time?
yeah, there's nothing after you talk to the snowman. Like he doesn't speed up or anything. You just need to move in the right way so as to lead him here. But
food on your controller.
So you grabbing that because you grabbed a ledge there, right?
yeah, and that's fine. It's not a big deal. Doesn't do anything.
That's a red flag.
No time lost. So basically, the only thing you can do to optimize it is like in the beginning, the way you get to the snowman. But me and Liam don't do it. Liam used to do it, but I think he got tired of messing it up. And Liam actually got I forget when this was discovered, but basically the way that you land here, you can skip Mario tilting his head up. And Liam got it, and that saves 0.3.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how I still save time there. It must have been just a good backflip, but yeah, it's the animation skip can save some time there.
Yeah, I did.
And so this is our cool mountain. 3.4 seconds. Your split difference reads about 10. Faster on 3, slower on 3, including 2 for 100 plus race. Not too many big mistakes. Your biggest mistake was honestly just not grabbing the penguin.
Yeah, we both had pretty rough cool mountains. Like I had a 526 segment. A good segment is like a 518. So this means Liam must have gotten like a 523. Anything sub 520 is what I would call acceptable. So this was very unacceptable gameplay in the cool mountain. But,
honestly shocked you didn't reset at that point.
Yeah, but still a good run. Still very good pace. I'm getting carried by all of the gameplay that I had leading up to CCM.
And so here we're going to go to Big Boo's Haunt. So, sorry, Liam, but I'm going to have to leave. It's just BBH bores me. So I'd rather go play with a rubber band or something. Please.
Yeah, it's about that time of the day. We're 50 minutes in. Not a bad time to deploy the tactical rubber band. The way that you kill the boo when you get in there, actually, you can. I could save even more time here. Tabascoth has a video tutorial on how to kill this boo quickly, which I need to take a look and practice because I'm losing frames on the way that I kill him. I don't kill him very quickly.
So after we go through all the stars in Big Boo's Haunt, I took just the courtyard to the boo, so you could look at all of those and see who actually saved more time, just because it is a more unique level entry than hopping into a painting.
That's good. Yeah.
So we'll be able to look at just all of that. And this is everyone's favorite star in the entire world. It's Ghost RNG with Ghost Hunt.
Oh my god. Wait, go back. I don't know why Liam does this. Like, so me and Liam we do the same thing where we kill this boo. There's two ways you can kill the boo. You can do a long jump, wall kick, ground pound, and then you can go for the door skip. I don't like doing that because it's basically RNG whether or not the boo will charge you, but it charged Liam. But you can see the way that I do that first room, I'll always hit the boo. And I don't know why Liam doesn't do that slide kick. Like, he always does that jump. But sometimes he'll just get messed up, like the way that he just did. He lost so much time because of that.
Also taking a little bit of time to break dance before he does go after the boo. Always important.
Yeah, I can only imagine what Liam is saying during that. That's a very frustrating mistake. It feels like a really dumb way to lose time.
You mentioned this when you were reacting, but this RNG from the eye here.
Yeah, it's sort of RNG. But the way that you approach the door can make it not so. Okay, me and Liam both got hit. Liam, I think, had a better backup there. I don't like doing that. It's kind of scary where you just kick anyway. But depending on how you approach the door, the eyeball will either shoot you or not. And if he shoots you early enough, then you get slapped. But yeah, we both missed the door clip too, so we both had pretty bad ghost hunts here.
And you ultimately got the edge, mainly because of his breakdancing pause there. 4.5 seconds ahead of him. Yeah, 100 plus spreads.
Yeah, this is another one. This is... I think BBH is basically up to Ghost Hunt and 100, like those two stars. Once they're out of the way, you're kind of good. They're like the two very difficult pieces. And so my Ghost Hunt wasn't very solid. I know I lost a lot of time in BBH. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I did not have a very good BBH. So I'm sure there's some dumb stuff that happens here.
And Liam caught an edge a little bit, so that's why he is currently behind. When he was trying to get through the blue boo thing, he just kind of didn't quite make it on the first try.
So Liam and I do this room a little bit differently. My way is technically faster, but I think his way is a lot more consistent, and I mess up my way. Here and there. Definitely happens from time to time.
I love the way that this star looks, just the movement of beating the eye, getting 2 coins before the eyes even popped.
Yeah, it's super, super fun. Okay, I got really bad blue coin RNG there.
Not as bad as Liam.
I think Liam could have gotten that blue, actually. He went for the double. It looked like he should have got that blue. I don't know how he didn't. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't think... Basically, the way that you move in that room above is going to change whether or not that boo comes over. Me and Liam both got the manipulation. I thought that I missed it here, but... If you don't get it, then he'll be off to the left, and it's really annoying, and you lose a lot of time. Can't do the instant kick, but that was actually a pretty good 100.
And so I did a timestamp here because there's a jump that you talked about missing quite a few times right there, and I wanted to show you how much time that actually lost you. What you will see is actually close to 2.8 seconds on that jump there.
Wait, 2.8? Oh, it goes from... Yeah,
this one right there, yeah.
I see. Yeah, that was a really dumb jump to miss. That jump is like brain dead. Like, it's so easy to do that triple jump. But sometimes, occasionally, your speedrun, I call it like muscle memory getting corrupted. It's like how a file gets corrupted, where out of nowhere, you can just forget how to do something. And it's usually brought about by like overthinking. Like if I spend too much time overthinking about a star and I'm like, oh wait, what do I do? Then I just kind of doubt myself, and then I almost unlearn the star. So I had to practice that triple jump again after this to make sure I had it.
The best music in the game by far.
Yeah, Liam saved a little bit of time here. That must have been getting into the door at the beginning. But looks like I caught up a little bit.
He just edges you a little bit there.
Oh, I love getting edged by Liam. Oh, God. Fuck.
That's in the video. Not cutting that out.
Please don't. I want Liam to know.
Next up, we've got the bookshelf one. Of course, no bookshelves were used in the making of this getting the star.
And we do a little bit of different movement there. But, yeah, pretty much the same speed.
We got the big eye coming up here. And I think you messed up right there. Or no, you messed up somewhere else. You messed up somewhere on this. There you go.
Yep.
Missing the side flip there.
Yeah, like, that is such a silly mistake to make, and that lost me a lot of time. Like, my time losses here in BBH were pretty unfortunate. Missing the triple jump at the end of the 100, and then that wall kick is like... I can't believe how much time that lost. Like, that alone is like 4 or 5 seconds, just from very slight input slip-ups.
And then we have my favorite star of all time. For anyone who knows my history, we have the balcony boo.
You're very good at the star, Ghostboy. They don't call you Ghostboy for nothing.
Yeah, this is my house. You can see your movement's a little bit behind on here already.
Yeah, I lost... My time losses in BBH were all on, like, the dumb stuff. This is why... It's like what I said at the beginning, that kind of thinking can actually ruin you, where it's like, okay, I did 100, I did Ghost Hunt, I'm good. But you can't really think like that. You just have to keep focusing. Otherwise, you'll inevitably make a mistake on any star. Like any easy star, or in theory, easy stars, you can lose so much time on if you're not paying attention.
And so here we just have the movement from courtyard to boo here. So we're just going to play them all. I think there's 5 in total, back to back, because I didn't include the one when you first enter the level. And of course, the last one, you don't go back to the boo. So it's not the most interesting thing to look at, but you can see that you are subtly ahead at this point.
Yeah, it looks like Liam has to go. Like, whenever you have to go for the ground pound, you're losing time. And it looks like he had to do that multiple times. And that adds up. This is something I had to optimize. I used to do the ground pound, like, every time. But with each kill that's not a ground pound, I don't know, I must be saving like 0.2, 0.3. So it adds up really fast. Like, you can save probably a full second on cleaning up your re-entry into BBH.
Yeah, so you get about minus 0.6 seconds here ahead of Liam just from your movement in the courtyard alone, which I thought was significant enough that we should, mention it.
Yeah, definitely something you don't want to sleep on. Learn how to kill the boo. And the way that I do it, I think, is like really easy.
So here we have Big Boo's Haunt. As you can see, the first 3 you came out on top, and then in the last 4, just small little movement things.
Interesting. So Liam had an even worse BBH than I did. That's crazy.
By 1.3 seconds.
We both had a classic BBH, as they say.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing no one saw it anyways, right? So everyone got up and left to play with their rubber bands.
Welcome back, everybody. It's D2D 100 time, and this is the by far worst split that I had in my world record.
There is actually something very interesting here, which I'm very excited for you to see, because I'm curious to see what your reaction will be to it, and we'll get there. It is on 100 and reds, so this is something that you said yourself was one of your weaker points of the run.
Wait, how did Liam lose time on this segment? What did he do? Oh, he didn't get the long jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that little slip up cost him 0.7. That's crazy. Gotta be paying attention. Cannot slip up even in the castle. Always focusing.
And I included Fire Sea within this kind of segment as well. So, and here we go. Swimming optimally is really just a rhythmic thing. Very important. If you want to be, one of the top runners in this game, swim optimally. Learn how to do it. Unlike me.
Yeah, swimming optimally is... Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. But these coins, there's a very certain method to the madness. And missing that one coin made me lose so much time, as you can see.
Yeah, so this is your first slip up, and so I clocked you guys as you got the ledge grab to get up the on land. So that will be our first mark to see where you guys, what the difference is. And there's actually a pretty interesting difference that you'll see when we clock you for a second time, because this star is insanely long. It's over 2 minutes.
Yep. It's a big one. Liam had an extra coin. So he got the ledge grab. We both got the ledge grab, I guess.
Yeah.
Ideally, you don't ledge grab here, but it's just, I don't really know like what causes that ledge grab, to be honest. It's really annoying because you lose more than a second because you lose all your momentum.
So at this point, you are 7.7 seconds behind Liam as you start to go after the red coins here. And then this is where Liam messes up the sub there. So I don't know if you realize this, but you guys were actually even here. You guys actually touched the deck at the exact same time. And it's this slip up here that costs you the rest of your time.
Interesting.
Because he also messed up on front sub, I believe it's called.
Yeah. And then I mess it up again. This was brutal. At this point, like, I was pretty checked out, but I was also like, you know what, whatever, we'll run it. Like, I still can't believe that I had such a bad... Like, at this point, the run is objectively pretty slow. Like, below average pace. But this is when it goes beast mode. From here on out, very clean gameplay. That was, like, the last big mistake of the entire run.
And you can see here, this is one of the first times where he actually has you in splits. Almost 15 seconds from that and the front sub incident. But beyond that, when you guys were actually getting onto the deck there, you guys were actually matched perfectly to the frame. Next we have the chest star, which is always a great one. What's the angling on these chests here?
The what?
The angling, like to open it, because sometimes you have to face them, sometimes you don't quite have to face them.
You always have to face them. It's like, I don't know what the degrees is, like within a 45 degree or something like that, maybe. I don't actually know, but yeah, you just need to generally be facing the chest, and then you can hit it on the front or on the sides. And chest star is actually something that I had to optimize recently. Wow, I lost 0.5.
Yep.
Is that on the final turn? Let's see. We must have been... Yeah, he does a better turn at the end. That final turn can be a big time difference, but this was a star that I was losing probably like almost a second to, and I had to grind it out. And it was just one of those things from like years ago. Like, I just learned it wrong. It was mostly the second chest. I had to change the way I did the second chest. Second chest and the last chest are pretty important.
Here we have the submarine one, which will be... after this, we'll head to Fire C. So you do stars here so that you can go closer to... because the entry moves backwards after you get the submarine to open up Fire C, so...
Nam, 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 nam. Yep, so we both do front
amazing
sub.
input here.
I think, wow, Liam actually has a much better front sub. Oh my god, wow, wait, hold on. You can tell, like, when he turns here. Like, wow. Liam has a very nice front sub. Oh my goodness, that's it. Okay, so for a long time, I've been wondering where I lose so much time to Liam. Because Liam, I think, has the best gold split here for this segment, and it's like a 324 or something. And I have a low 325, and this right here would explain it. Like, I do an extremely safe front sub, and Liam's is a lot. He turns way earlier, so that's actually interesting.
In general, I mean, something we've noticed throughout all these stars is Liam's movement when it comes to sharp turns and stuff like that is pretty insane down to the small details. Yeah,
and I mean, Liam he holds the most single star world records out of anybody, and that's something that's always scared me about him. Is he has taken the time to grind out those very small nuances and different stars that I don't fully understand yet. But Fire C, this is a big kahuna. You got to make sure to get the lava boost cycle, and I'm pretty sure we both make it. Oh, yep. Yeah, so grabbing poles off of a side flip, it's just depending on your momentum, like in which direction you have your most momentum or something, it will determine how you grab the pole. And he actually lost so much time from grabbing the pole like that, so you have to be very careful how you maneuver after the side flip in order to grab the pole properly.
And then the Bowser fights. There's not much variation you can do here. You're essentially just getting over Bowser, so when the platform straightens out, you can just just throw him right into the bomb right behind him, right?
Yeah, there is Liam does a different grab there, but it looks like we'd do pretty much the same. He saves a tiny bit of time. I actually intentionally spin slow here, and that's probably something that I could change. But I find that it gives me way more consistency on the throw. And again, it's one of those things that's like, at some point I'll have to speed it up, but for now it's fine.
And then we're going to head back to Dire Docks, starting off with the Manta Ray. And if anyone has not seen Panin's video on what the Manta Ray rings actually look like, I highly recommend that, because it's insane. You know what I'm talking about?
Wow, the Manta rings, like the way that they look visually versus their hitbox is very, very messed up. How did he say? Did he just have a really early turn at the beginning? He definitely saved some good time. Yeah, okay, I just went really wide.
Yeah, it's that turn on that third ring there.
Those turns, man. This guy has insane turns. If there's anything that I've learned, it's the turns.
The turn master. Well, and it just goes to show people who may not understand how optimized this game is and how much the movement really matters. Small things like that, with flying, he saved quite a bit of time just from those things. Next up, we have the rings coming out of the ground here. Well, I guess it's still ground if it's underwater, isn't it? But you know what I mean. The one that you are supposed to have a metal cap for, but you guys don't.
Yeah, I wonder if this was intentional. Like, if they did this in testing and they're like, oh, yeah, you can get there if you swim good. Like, we'll just keep that. So I actually messed this up. I missed a ring just barely, and so I had to keep swimming to get that fifth ring. So I actually had a pretty bad split here.
Yeah, and you guys show up at the same time, so 2-second difference shows you how much you can lose on stuff like that. And then the last one is the Vanish cap one. Which, honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that there hasn't been another way to get through that cage, but I imagine that's a lot harder underwater.
There is a strat that TAS does with, like, a BLJ, but we definitely can't do that.
Yeah. We'll just do that in carpetless, and you'll have world record. It's funny still. I mean, have you seen Simply on a Carpet yet this run? Don't think so.
True! So far, so good.
So question here, you can technically do this star with the sub. Is it just, is it faster without the sub?
The sub causes so much lag. That's the problem. Like, if you're swimming around in here with the sub, you're going to lose a lot of time due to lag. Even if you have a good camera angle, it doesn't matter.
Okay. I play on emulator, so that's probably why I never factored that in.
Yep.
And so that is our DDD Bowser in the Fire Sea splits here.
He is a good swimmer. Man, wow. I lost so much time to swim in.
If you didn't miss that pole in Fire Sea Reds, if he didn't grab that pole, this probably would have been 20 seconds over you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, obviously most of it's from the 100, but even on those little splits like chest, sub, manta ray, rings.
Yeah.
I'll forfeit it to Liam. He is the strongest swimmer, but I will work on my swimming.
Alrighty, so out of DDD, we are heading to Wet, Dry World. The land of the wet and the dry.
Yeah, so wow, we're pretty much tied going upstairs, and I'm sure Liam would agree that this is like a pretty bad upstairs time. Like we both had really good second halves of the run, which is cool. Like usually it's not that way. I think this is probably one of the first runs I've had where I've like clutched out the ending so well. Wait, where did I lose 0.3 going into Wet Dry World?
It was you hugging the wall.
Oh, yep.
All right, first off is the Vanish cap one. And this is where swimming optimally, I mean, it was important in Dire Docks and JRB, but it's also very important here.
Yeah, this is a star that I recently grinded out, and I think Liam stopped doing this optimization. I don't know why, but I feel really comfortable with it where you go to the right instead of to the left. And it actually is a pretty juicy time save. As you can see, I hit the crystal quite a bit sooner. But I already had a lead from the beginning. Like, whenever Mario jumps into water, depending on when you press A, you can save a lot of time on that first swim. But I do get a ledge grab, so it doesn't even matter. But he misses. Man, he did that so much on his run.
Yeah, I tell you, man, he could have probably been down another 3 or maybe 5, 6 seconds if he nailed the star on the first try. Which, I mean, to be fair, he'd had still an amazing run, and I couldn't do any better, so I won't judge. But here we have 100s plus reds. Secrets is 70, reds is 120.
Yeah, it looks like we're pretty much tied up on this one.
Not quite as good as Ms. Kiff's, but close.
We can only hope. We all strive to do our best. But Ms. Kiff is on another level.
And he just hits that dive a little bit before you.
Yeah, so top of the town is pretty much the same from both of us. I think the bottom or downtown here is where the 100 is the most tricky.
And this is really just, once again, good, careful movement on a lot of these wall kicks, a lot of these side flips. You're a little bit behind here.
Yeah, I caught the ledge back there. A little bit of a ledge grab, but still
Waking the ledge.
no major mistakes. Oh my god. That bonk hurts a lot. And an important thing here is we actually zoom up during that little bit of buffer time between the stars spawning. And if you go into zoomed in Mario Cam, you reduce lag when you grab the star ultimately there. Little lag reduction thing.
And so even though you did grab the ledge, you do come out on top there.
Yeah, that bonk that he had really hurt him. Curious to see these stars. These are some stars that I also recently... I don't know if I could say recently anymore. I mean, this was months ago. Okay, that's...
Yep, that's your time loss on this one.
That was not good. Very silly mistake. But I've sped this star up quite a bit.
1.6 seconds. There was a new strat for that star that was like just recently discovered that you were trying or something.
Yeah,
maybe like a month ago.
Yeah, I meant to make a YouTube video about it. I might still do that. It'd be pretty decent content, but it's definitely not consistent. It is a cool thing you can do where you can just clip right through the wall at the top. You don't need to go and trigger the elevator, but it's not realistic for runs. It's very hard to do.
Speaking of YouTube, I'll go ahead and sell out. If you're watching this and you're enjoying this, like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. Share it with your friends. This is a high quality analysis from the world champion, guys.
High quality content. Thank you, Ghostboy, for putting this together. This definitely took many hours. I'm sure.
Way more than it should have, but I still had a lot of fun doing it. YouTube exclusive, guys. We're hitting that YouTube exclusive content up. And here we have your standard secrets here.
Yeah, I bonked on the wall there. Not very good. I don't know what happened with Liam there. Did he get shocked?
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Evens that out a little bit. And then missing that jump there is what ultimately costs him this one.
Fairly wet.
1.4 seconds ahead of him.
Oh, no, I'm good, Mom. Thank you.
This is the one star that I do use the menu glitch that Liam uses, and that's just because in order to get good castle movement after the star, again, Liam missing the ground pound on a star, who's surprised. There's a very specific angle here that will speed up this movement from the end of this star to the door touch.
And so here we have our wet dry world. You came out with minus 1.9 seconds ahead. Your split difference now reads -1, whereas before you were up by 1.
Yeah, both of us had pretty good wet dry worlds. Like they weren't perfect, but things can go really bad in wet dry world. So both perfectly fine wet dry worlds.
And we will head from there to Tiny Huge Island. And there are some fun ones here. You just beat them there. That's like one of your few castle movements, I think.
Yeah. Tiny Huge Island. This is a huge pain in the ass. Mostly the 100 coin. There's a lot of RNG. That is like the big decider. Secrets at this point are fairly consistent.
A lot of camera optimization on the secrets too. Just a little bit of a jump there on the when you zoom in and all that. And he catches the ledge.
Ooh. Yeah, he definitely has better secret strats. There's some minor optimizations I could throw in that I've yet to put into secrets. I have pretty safe secrets, but one of those things that will eventually need to get tuned up. But at the moment, it's fine.
And so this is where you start to see coin RNG and you not being able to jump up on a ledge. But this is where I can't even say coin today, man. Coin RNG.
Corn RNG.
Because there's a lot of things you have to kill here. A lot of maps, there's a lot of loose coins. This one, a lot of your coins come from actually killing Goombas and turtles and whatnot.
Goombas and turtles. Yeah, I forgot that I made all those mistakes in the tiny island here. I think those are like my only mistakes because I had a really good THI split. But the 100 RNG is really nice to me. Let's see, what does Liam's look like? Oh, that's pretty good. He had a slight slip up. Yeah, he had to go hunting for coins.
The turtle shell optimization must be pretty important too, learning how to like steer that thing as best as you possibly can.
Yeah, there's a very me and Liam I think both messed it up, but ideally you kill the Koopa and then you like land on the coin or you land on the shell. But it's hard to do it every time.
And so you entered about 2 seconds ahead of him. He does have slightly faster movement once inside, and you end this 1.2 seconds ahead of him. Oh wait, that's the wrong number. Very cool. Pretend that's not there.
That's the wrong number.
Oh, that's the right number. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm so asleep right now, dude. Moving on to the box star.
That's the right number. We are both slightly... Well, I don't know if I'm sleep deprived. I think Ghostboy's a little sleep deprived, but I just woke up.
I've slept maybe 15 hours in the last week. It's great. So yeah, box star, clip up, standard stuff. You were just a second behind. I think it was. What, did you make a bunk there or?
Yeah, So when I went through the mountain, ideally what you want to do is hit the mountain then dive. But if you go too fast, you'll actually roll out right through the wall. And if you do that, then you have to it takes a little more time to get up. I don't know if that's something that I can really control. I'm not really sure, but it does lose time.
Can't you just be more like Liam, man?
Yeah, Liam did it good there for sure. I'm actually surprised I made all these mistakes because this was almost a gold THI. I don't think anybody's gotten a very good THI gold yet. I think a super good THI segment is a low 540. I think my gold is 545. In world record, I got a 547. But I'm sure that a 543, 541 is possible. If you have a super, super nice THI.
Here we've got the Wiggler, and I think Liam has some problems on this one.
That is so unfortunate. That's such a silly mistake to make. That loses a lot of time. I actually saw Tago optimizing the star recently, because you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can hop on his head, and I definitely haven't gotten a perfect feeling for that, so I'm sure I'm losing frames. Liam backflip! Dude, he's messing up every... Oh my goodness. He's lost so much time from just those stars. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's impressive how good the rest of the run is. If you take his castle movement and you take his star grabbing movement and you combine them, it's probably close to 0. He's got such good castle movement and then just can't grab those stars, man. They're intimidating.
Yeah, it feels like he's lost 10 seconds at this point.
Maybe.
I'm curious what the actual total is.
I can look that up for you if you want.
Yeah, if he actually, I wonder if he had grabbed every star properly, would it have been faster than my time? I don't even know. Probably would have been really close. I don't know about faster.
Yeah. And then our last one here is Koopa the Quick, and we're going to look at your theory. You always talk about hanging on that edge there, and now we can actually get a good look at and see if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't know if Usamune is just talking a bunch of garbage and making us look stupid, but he made a video in detail about how to make the star go faster, and one of the things he said is you need to hang off at the edge of the cliff at the end of the star to, for whatever reason, it speeds up the Koopa. I just do what he says. I believe that man. And he also says optimally, the best time to finish the race is a 14.5. If you finish earlier, sometimes Koopa can get caught up on boulders, so you'll see I intentionally slow down.
So you actually get a 14.7, but then you go cliff diving for just a little bit. And despite being 0.2 seconds behind, you do indeed talk to the Koopa first.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like concrete evidence that it's faster to hang off the edge.
No, I definitely wouldn't take it as concrete evidence.
Because there's always RNG with the Koopas. Like this Koopa and also the Bob Koopa, there's a slight amount of RNG that determines like when they stop and when you get to talk to them. So
this is your tiny huge island, not necessarily perfect by either of you, but anytime you made a mistake, he made a bigger mistake, and that gave you a pretty good -6 on him on the segment and put you 7 seconds ahead of him overall.
Yeah, this is it's ramping up. This is a pretty decent upstairs at this point for me. Like Wet Dry World, whatever, THI, they're both pretty damn clean. No major mistakes at all.
And here we come to one that you have really struggled with in recent memory, TTM. I have seen you reset here multiple times.
Yeah, TTM, it's important to not let like a mental block develop. And, it's harder too when chat is saying stuff like, oh, here comes TTM. And I was definitely like getting a mental block with TTM and SL. But I grinded these stages out in practice off stream and everything felt fine. So I just trusted my stuff. How did I lose 0.2? Where did I lose?
I think it's the way he exits this right here. He does this little kick dive, and for some reason he just seems to go a lot faster than you.
I think he's just when he where he's talking to Toad is closer to the painting. I think that might be
maybe
part of it. Interesting.
Breezeless.
Any chonglers? Anybody just absolutely fucking chongling? Because I'm not, because this run is not, I don't care about this run at all. Not even close.
When did Breezeless become like a thing?
As long as I've been playing the game, it's been a thing.
Oh, okay.
It has, for a while they thought it was TAS only, but people got better at the game.
Explain these water clips, because these are a huge part of this map. This wall clip where you hop into the water and come up. Like, how tricky is that kind of thing?
Yeah, so it feels basically up to luck. When you do that jump dive into the water, it's very precise. But if you can do it in just the right way, you get an instant clip like what I did. And I actually learned how to instant clip sort of from Liam. And Liam gets them pretty often too. Like if you get in 3 of them, because you go up here 3 times, it's very hard to get 3 of them. If I get 1, I'm happy. But it saves a second each time you do it, so it's huge. If you get a good one. There's like varying degrees. Some of them are not as good. But I got a super good one there, and so it's very hard to compete with that.
And next up, we got the top of the mountain, so we'll head right back in, and I believe there is a pretty sizable mistake here by Liam.
Oh, yeah.
And he slides down the hill.
Yeah, I had a really good top of the mountain. This TTM was actually super hot, and then I made that one error on the mushroom star.
Which we will head to next, so a save of 6.1 seconds there because of that little slip-up, but then you counter with a little bit of a slip-up on your own, which I believe this is you doing the lone mushroom as a backup.
Yeah, so I went for the jump dive, and it missed, but this backup was really smooth. Like that, it couldn't have been much cleaner than that. I do take a little bit of time to line this up, but yeah, that was a really good backup.
Yeah, all things considering, if a backup's costing you less than like 10 seconds, then it's probably a good backup. And next up, we got the star that you were actually trying to do, which is Monkey Cage.
Yeah, Monkey was giving me some trouble as well. So there I got a clip, but it wasn't as good. Like I spent a little bit of time in the water before I got the clip. But it did obviously save time over Liam. So the Monkey's all good. This was a star that I recently grinded out maybe like a month or two ago. And depending on when you ground pound, you can actually see Liam lost a lot of time to where he ground pounded. Where you ground pound in the air here is it's super important for saving time.
Yeah, you ground pound quite a bit. Well, I don't know, lower to the ground. It's just where you're placed at.
Yeah, I try to go for as soon as I see Mario falling from the peak, I ground pound. Liam looks like he ground pounded a little bit late. You can see the Monkey swung around a lot more, and so he actually lost quite a bit of time here. Even though in theory it looked like a pretty good star.
And then you close off with 100 in reds.
That is correct.
Is there a reason you do 100 in reds last? Because normally I feel like 100... Or is it because you're just trying to make the wall clip?
Yeah, 100 is just like... Logically, it makes sense to do this last because... I mean, you could do this last or you could do like blast to the shroom last, but you want to have a backup in case you mess up the clip. And so these are the two backup stars. Wow. Where did Liam save so much time? How did he get such a lead? I'm just curious where he's getting this lead from. Wait a second. He's already has the lead getting those coins. Okay, yeah. Run it back. So Liam actually goes down here.
Yeah, and that seems to buy him a little bit more time.
Interesting. Yeah, I might need to adopt that. I saw Paracusia does that too, and I was like practicing it, and I found that it wasn't saving time for me, but I must have been doing a bad comparison, so I might need to rework how I do that beginning movement, because that's pretty significant. Interesting. I'm going to write that down, actually. I got to get my...
taking notes.
Yeah, I got to take my notes out.
So he missed the coins. He missed one or two of the coins going on into the slide. Yeah, he missed two of the coins going into the slide itself.
Oh yeah.
So just that last row right there. Professional analyst typing very loudly while in the middle of a world record comparison video.
I got you, buddy. Just distort the shit out of it in the actual video.
And so as we come to the ending of the slide here, you can see that right now you guys are at roughly same amount of coins, but Liam ends with 98. I think he misses one near the very end there, or he's just slightly ahead of you, and he does not have enough. So he actually loses a bit of time because he's got to go after 2 bombs.
Yep. 2 bombs.
Granted, not the worst thing in the world to happen, but probably inconvenient at a time like this. And he does get them both, which is pretty good. So you guys are matched up here.
Dude, if
I
actually got the box star, like...
Just a little bit more delayed because he's further behind grabbing those bombs. And that is TTM, which was a very, very solid TTM by you.
It's just, I'm just pumping out bangers here upstairs. We had... Other than the backup, that's like a pretty big slip up, like plus 6 seconds. I would consider that. That's actually a pretty big mistake. But the rest of TTM was so good that it almost like hides the fact that happened. But yeah, pretty good TTM for sure.
What was your TTM time here? Do you know?
5:06 was the segment.
Do you know what your gold is?
My gold at the time was a 5:04. So
if you hadn't done that backup.
Yeah, it would have been almost a sub 5. I actually got a gold yesterday, though, during runs, and that was a 5:01 with a mistake. That was like a couple seconds. So the sub 5 will happen. There was a moment in time where I thought sub 5 TTM was basically impossible, but now I've cleaned up a lot of stuff in TTM, so it's a lot more realistic.
And hey, speaking of golds, we're on our way to Snowman's Land, which I believe was a gold in this run.
It was. Yeah, I had a very, very Very nice Snowman's Land. I think I maybe had one error.
So when you guys do this star, are you going after Snowman's head first, and then if you miss, you just happen to go for the Igloo, or is Igloo always the first one you go for?
Igloo's always first.
Okay. And a ground pound by Liam.
Yeah, that's a smart ground pound. It stops his momentum. I don't do that. I usually go for a dive, and then it backfires a lot of the time.
And that will go almost 4 seconds on the first one. And interestingly enough, all your time save really comes from one split here. Liam actually bests you in every other star except for 100 plus reds. Snowman said, this is of course one that you have struggled with a lot. I've seen you struggle with, and that was a pretty clean one. If you don't fall off, I would say that's a win.
Yeah. I had a dusty rollout. Okay, I actually did mess up. Like, these first 2 stars were pretty sluggish, for sure. I think from here on out, it's pretty good. We'll see.
Yeah, this is your 100 plus reds here, which is your biggest split by far, and I think that's partially on Liam as well. And a lot of coin RNG here is insane, because those money purses can go anywhere.
Yeah, I got very nice RNG here.
Poor Bob-omb never gets talked to, cannon never gets opened.
Yeah, there's actually, like, back in the day, people used to open the cannon because there's a very easy cannon shot to get to the top of the snowman. But it's too slow. Unfortunately. That'd be cool if it was the strat, because then we wouldn't... The cool thing is that there's no cutscene for opening the cannon.
Yeah.
That's why it's so good.
And so as you can see there with the time difference, minus 5.6, so even just being inside the Igloo, your movement was 2.2 seconds faster than what Liam's was inside the Igloo itself. And then you clean up here, grabbing the rest of the reds and some coins on the shell. Which this is really where shell control is mega important.
Yeah, and you can see that money bag RNG was insane that I got. Like, all the coins basically fell right on me. Liam messing up the spin drift a little bit.
And his coins just going everywhere.
Yeah, and even that was like pretty alright RNG. I got super duper lucky, but I had really, really, really nice 100.
And then you will grab the star, and Liam just has to wait for the spawn star animation, which I think is like 3 to 4 seconds, maybe? Do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, it's about 4 seconds.
So, ends up with minus 9.67, which is your biggest split here. And besides that and Igloo, those are the only 2 that you actually are faster than him on. Everything else is within a 0.1 seconds of each other. Pretty fast stars shooting off here. First off with the box star.
Yeah, Liam missed a speed kick there.
But you missed the box. You pulled a Liam.
Oh. Yep, taking a bad page out of Liam's book. That ground pound cost about a second. So I did get a gold here. It was like a 419. So if I didn't do that ground pound mistake and I had a cleaner Igloo star and Snowman's head, we're looking at like a 417, 416 SL. I think the best SL gold right now is like a 418.
Definitely possible. A lot of RNG though.
Yeah, you do need good RNG. That's the biggest part, and I think a big reason why it hasn't gotten, why no one has gotten like a 416 yet, 417.
And then ending with the classic frozen ice bully.
Yeah, I do slightly different movement there. In theory, what I do there is fastest, but I didn't do the cleanest run of it.
So this is your only gold of your world record, right?
I think so.
So here we have Snowman's Land. On the segment, just from Igloo and Reds, you saved 13 seconds over Liam. And this is where the division really starts to happen as we get into Tippy here.
Yeah, so then at this point in the run, Liam had like one of the best tippies that's ever been done, I think, in a world record. And so even though I'm minus 23, I end up losing quite a bit of time to him and Tippy, as we'll see. Like I did have a Tippy without any major mistakes, but there was a lot of minor flubs that we will see. Like I'm still shocked how good of a Tippy Liam had in his run. I think part of it was like, to him, I think the run felt like it was dead. Like basically the whole time this run just felt dead, so he had like no nerves or no pressure. And so he was able to just like clutch it out really well.
And so we're going to enter Cloud Stage, which is a run killer for sure.
Yep. This says I've lost so many runs here recently. Huge shout outs again to Garanimal for helping me find a better visual cue for this cannon shot. Cheese has reached out to me multiple times and told me to stop doing this strat because it's not good or it's like too risky. But this strat saves 2 seconds. Liam, like part of the reason I felt motivated to keep going for it was the fact that Liam did it in his world record. And I was like, okay, if Liam's doing it, like I will definitely go for it. I don't care if I lose a run, it saves too much time.
And so this is the visual cue, as you mentioned in your reaction video. It's the rainbow that kind of looks like a pole.
Yeah.
It's got some notches on there.
It looks like it's harder to see on Liam's screen, actually. I wonder, but I don't think Liam uses that visual cue. I think he was using the top of the rainbow, which is pretty impressive. But
yeah, and you can see that's where a lot of this time difference is right here, is you spend significantly less time in the cannon.
Yeah. It's so nice. It's a much better visual cue. You can line it up way quicker. You can see I gain a lot of time there. I think I had a really good, like I get that little clip onto the cloud. Liam got it as well. That's huge. And then I'm pretty sure I missed the 8th red.
Yes.
And that's a lot of time lost. Now, me and Liam actually do different strats here. I'm pretty sure what I do is faster, but it's a little bit more difficult. But this is something that I picked up a long time ago, and some runners just haven't bothered to pick it up. It is pretty awkward. I can't believe I only lost 3.
Almost 3 seconds just from missing that coin. Considering how far you were ahead, too, missing that coin can actually, cost you upwards of 3.
Oh, it cost me way more than 3. It cost me like 6. I got like a 138 split or something, and my gold is like a 131 or 130.
And here we go into TTC. These stars just done quick. So we start with the longest one here, which is the 100 and Whomp one, which is one of the more prettier stars in this game, I think. Just based off of the movement. Very cool.
She's not streaming.
I'm not streaming.
Why?
Because this is a YouTube exclusive.
Do you want to say hi to YouTube, Miz?
Do you want to say hi to YouTube, Ms. Kiff?
Holy fuck. Yeah, I've heard of you, man. You're big, dude. You're bigger than Twitch.
I'm huge.
Do you want to restart this star, or are we just keep going with this?
Yeah, I just started off in the beginning.
Why did I fuck shit up?
No,
Absolutely.
I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I don't remember the mistakes I made in TikTok clock, but we'll see them. I definitely made some errors. So Liam gets a safety red there. I still don't fully understand the safety red. Cheese does it too. It allows you to play a little bit more aggressively. You don't have to worry as much about coins, but I haven't ran into any problems not going for it yet in a run. So unless I have a really good run crush multiple times by... Oh yeah, the dive.
And this is kind of where Liam matches up with you and then slowly starts to go past you here.
Oh yeah, I have to play a little bit safer on those coins. He gets the triple jump dive. Damn, that triple jump dive actually saves a good amount of time. Yeah, like that's what you always try to go for, but sometimes it doesn't work out.
You go a different route than him, I think, when you go up there.
Oh, yeah, it's just if the Thwomp is there, that's what you do, and if he isn't, you do what I did.
So minus 1.3, and then we're going to see some greens from you for a little bit, and then the last star, I believe you messed up a little bit on there as well.
Oh, yeah, he does 100 last. It's interesting.
Yeah, he almost consistently did every star in a different order than you did. Here we got pendulums.
Ooh, he had to go for a side flip there. Huh. Interesting.
TTC is a very fast stage, but that just means that the movement has to be even more precise than you would think. Next up, the star in the cage. Once again,
Yep.
can't grab that star.
Wow. I thought he had like a perfect TTC.
Next is the Get a Hand star, which I believe is the one where you ride the thing, although you guys tend to do it a little differently.
2 big long jumps.
And once again, I mean, that one's not as big of a mistake, but he just doesn't hit the star when he jumps there.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the red ones, which you don't do moving because you're a coward. I'm kidding. I couldn't do them. I can't even do them not moving.
Yeah, D-Whatever's been doing these moving, and apparently it saves like 3 seconds, and he's done it in like his past 3 world records in 70, so... I don't know, it seems like he's got him down pretty good. It might be worth practicing. Like, that's pretty juicy time save.
I guess in theory, if you could do every star moving, it would save you a little bit of time because you don't have to wait for the clock.
Yeah.
Shit till she stops talking with Bowser.
Yahoo! Alright.
Good luck, Simply.
Yeah, this run's trash. It's unfortunate. I guess we'll close it out, maybe. I don't know.
Do you know what your TTC time was?
4 minutes flat. My gold, I believe, is a 354. Maybe a 356. So this means Liam got... Did he get a 4-minute flat then? Is that what this means as well? Or is he slower?
If he's +2, well, including Cloud, which he had 3 seconds on, then yeah, he would have been about roughly the same, I think.
Okay. I guess the time loss must be from Rainbow Ride and Bits then. That's where he catches up, because...
Yes. He catches up quite a bit on Rainbow Ride, and then he saves quite a bit of time on Bits and Bowser. We're going to grab this Toad Tock in here.
Yeah.
Probably one of the hardest stars in the game.
It's a tricky one. If you press B on the wrong frame, Toad pulls out a gun and shoots you, and then your run's dead, so you have to be very careful about that.
Never happened in a speedrun yet, but it'll happen someday. We know it will. And here we got Rainbow Ride, so we're going to start off with the star on the ship, and you can already see, once again, you guys are doing it in a different order.
Yeah, different order, and we do a different method of bouncing. My way is like OG. This is like the only way we knew how to do it way back. Way back when the dinosaurs roamed the land.
Boomer Simp.
But he does the new age strat, which actually is like barely slower. I think this is the only star that I mess up significantly.
Yes.
Like
the other ones are a little subtle.
The nerves were definitely settling in at this point. I was like, oh my god, this run's insane. And that was really rough. That's like the entire loss of Rainbow Ride, pretty much. Like, I think the rest of Rainbow Ride's pretty crisp.
At this point, Ms. Kiff has raided you, and the pressure's on.
He didn't raid me. He was watching on his stream.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
His fans kind of came in.
Yeah. People just started adding him.
A lot of long jumps, a lot of far-reaching movement.
Yeah, there's actually a faster strat here where you can skip the pole that Cheese was experimenting with that would save like...
I've seen him do that. It looks insane.
It's super insane, and it actually feels like something that might be done in the future. Like, it doesn't seem too out of reach.
And these reds, of course, are always a little tricky, not going for all the reds. So this is the time when you stomp on the blue switch, just to show you how ahead you are.
Wow.
Minus 4.5 seconds on Liam.
Huh. Interesting.
It does not stay that way.
That's really interesting.
Do you want to go back and watch that again, or?
No, I was watching what he, like, it's like...
Small things.
When I saw this world record live, and
yeah.
I remember him doing like no mistakes at all in TTC and Rainbow Ride, so it's actually interesting to see that he's made quite a bit of mistakes. But I guess at the end of the day, like the difference from when we went into Tippy versus the ending, like I beat his time by 15 seconds and I came in 23 seconds ahead, so there's 8 seconds lost somewhere. It was 2 to Cloud, but then the other 6 must be like in the rest of Rainbow Ride and Bits.
Here we got being on the carpet. This is where the memes start just pouring in to an unprecedented amount here. Just how much does the memes come into play?
Yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to stay calm. People are copy pastaing dicks. You can't even see it in the bottom left, but yes, it's some dicks being the ASCII dicks. Gotta love them.
And I just want to give a quick shout out. I don't think she'll watch this, but shout out to Artemis, who texted me at this point saying, "You need to be watching this right now," because I was upstairs eating dinner, and I immediately just walked away, took my dinner downstairs, and I managed to catch the last few minutes. So had that not happened, I would have been so disappointed to come downstairs, turn on my computer, and see that you'd broken the record. So you grab the 100 coin star at 1:48 seconds, so minus 4 seconds ahead of Liam, and then Liam somehow makes up a couple seconds here, and I'm not really sure how he does it, but maybe you'll be able to tell me.
I think I missed this wall kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yes. Yeah, he did a really early side flip there. That's interesting. Wait, can you back that up a bit? Interesting.
Yeah, he catches like the bottom of that ledge.
Yeah, he does a super early side flip.
Minus 2.369. It's a funny number. Everyone feel free to giggle. Next up is the cannon star.
In the hole.
Fire off
Wow.
roughly the same time.
Interesting. Did I actually save time? Huh.
You did. A little bit of time.
He had a really good beginning there. Like, he grabbed the pole so much earlier. The first pole.
Next up is 8 reds, and this is a frustrating star. I have seen runs end on this star. I have seen people lose their cool on this star. This is a pretty easy one to get frustrated at. A lot of slopes, a lot of kicks.
Yeah, it's easy to melt down here for sure.
Show feet or this will not be world record. Thank you, Butter, for the 100. Thank you, Mash, for the 200.
And he nails it.
Yeah, that was nice. So what this is telling me is basically my Rainbow Ride gold. Like, I have a 630 gold, and I got a 635 Rainbow Ride. And so this is telling me that I can get at least like a 628, maybe 627.
Yeah, a lot of your loss on here came from the ship.
Yeah, that was big. That was 5, and then the 100 was like 2.
Thank you, Rooster, for the prime. Thank you.
666, Mark of the Devil at this point simply has sold his soul in order to get world record.
Don't tell them.
Sorry, cut that out, Ghostboy.
Thank you.
And then last we have... I just have breeze. I don't know what that means. Oh, there's not actually a breeze for this one, is there?
Swinging in the breeze.
Swinging in the breeze. Oh, okay. I got you.
All right, boys. I guess we'll close this one out.
You lost 2.2 seconds on this one.
Yeah, so that explains a bit. So I guess in this last split, Liam is going to save 5 seconds. Like, he has a very good Bowser in the sky.
We'll close it out, maybe.
But yeah, I guess it just tells me that my Rainbow Ride, I've yet to get a very good Rainbow Ride split, or like a perfect Rainbow Ride. And basically this is telling me if I do get a perfect ride using my strats, it'll be like a 2 or 3 second gold. I've always thought that my Rainbow Ride is a lot worse than it actually is, because Cheese has like a 626 or something. And I don't think I can get that, but I should be able to get a 627, maybe 628 for sure.
And you guys nail this to the exact frame, entering Bowser in the sky. We have 2 more numbers left, starting off with red coins, of course.
Yeah, Bowser in the Sky Reds, I think I've yet to get a good cycle. If you get the best cycle, like every cycle saves, I think, 2 seconds. And I'm still missing a good gold, so I missed the elevator there. I just missed it. Like, that was the cycle I was looking for, but since I missed it, that's 2 seconds lost at least, maybe a little more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is your main time loss there.
Once you do that, there's like nothing you can do about that to speed it up. It's a very cycle-based stage. The movement here is actually very intense. I do need to practice this more still, and I missed a speed kick there. So I think I missed 2 cycles here. It's like 4 seconds. And Liam gets the triple jump. I don't know if he got the fastest cycle. Let's see at the end here.
And so your time difference is you are plus 3.2 seconds overall on him as he enters the stage. We are now into Bowser, the final Bowser throw. He does get 1.6 seconds over you. I think it's just the angles he was at, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was like so in shock that I messed up the text boxes at the end and lost like a second.
Yeah.
But I really don't have very good Bowser throws. Like I definitely lose about a second to throws.
It's no Aki throws, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Aki, if I had throws like Aki, that would be absolutely absurd. He saves so much time with his throws.
I gotta grind it back out, you know what I'm saying?
Good luck, Mitch Jones.
Thanks.
And there you have it. Your final split is 1.601. You got world record, but you didn't beat him on Bowser throws, so really is it much of an accomplishment? I don't know. We got some last little screens here for you to look at. This is the castle movement, so this is a little messy to read. But you can see here that when it comes to castle movement, you only actually beat him on a very small amount, and you lost 1.7 seconds just off castle movement alone. Now, obviously the big one here being LBLJ at the very beginning, but still something to point out for people who don't realize how important castle movement is. You've had PBs with a time difference less than this. This is your final stages time save.
So my tippy wasn't too far off from his 8 seconds. It's pretty big, but I could definitely whip up a tippy like that, which actually is it. So I got a 35.07 upstairs, which was like from door touch to the end of the run, which is, I think that's the best upstairs that's been done in a run. And if we can get a 34, which if I had Liam's tippy, it would have been a sub 35 upstairs. That's the kind of upstairs you're going to need to get a 137. Like we're talking like a super low 103 upstairs door touch, and then very low 35 or sub 35 upstairs. But I think as we keep progressing and pushing 120, a 102 upstairs time is going to become a lot more frequent, a lot more common. And then at that point, you're realistically looking at getting a 137. And right now, for me, that's like my end game. Like if I get a 137, I think I can put 120 to rest I would let it sit until somebody beat it. If somebody beat it, then I would definitely come back and try to grind it out. But I would be very, very satisfied with a 137.
Your biggest time saves over Liam was JRB 100s plus reds. You saved 5.8 seconds on that. On TTM Top of the Mountains, you saved 6.1 seconds. And on Snowman's Land 100 in reds, you saved 9.6 seconds. Your biggest time losses, which you probably know them all anyways, HMC 100 plus reds was 5.6 seconds. TTM Lone Mushrooms was 6.7 seconds. HMC Toxic Maze was 6.1 seconds. And then DDD 100 plus reds was 14 seconds. Those are your final numbers there. That is the world record comparison. I know the timing is not necessarily perfect, but this is still a good sense for you to compare the differences between what you and Liam, albeit a different timing maybe than you're used to. But I think you get the idea of it.
Super dope. Thank you very much, Ghostboy. I hope that you guys learned something or found some tidbits interesting. The things that I'm taking away personally from this, my Manta star, my DDD sub star is a super big one. I'm going to start ground pounding the Koopa star and BOB, the beginning of TTM 100, and the early side flip off of the carpet in Rainbow Ride 100. And other than that, Liam and I are very comparable in skill. Liam definitely has the edge in some parts for sure, but obviously overall we're very, very close. And Liam, come back, please. Come and battle for the 137 because I know that Liam is definitely capable of 137, and it'd be pretty hype to see us compete there. If it's not him, it's going to be Punk or Cheese. Cheese is playing Call of Duty. Punk is raiding Blackwing Lair.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Ghostboy. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I hope you have a good day.
Like, comment, subscribe. Go to twitch.tv/simply.
Subscribe, please. I need more subs.
Call this shit booty cake. Yeah. Booty cake bandit. I am the booty cake bandit. Booty cake bandit. I am the booty